I clicked on it, then I saw the picture and it was a soccer ball, and I clicked off of it.
Oh, damn! No,
yeah, I kind of.
I mean, soccer is kind of boring. Also, they killed the video game one. Thought that was.
That's
really...
okay. I read like 2 or 3 chapters of it and was not interested.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
it's one of them.
I'm impressed the amount of manga you guys are able to read and retain the information in said manga. I can't do it.
All I know about the video game one is that they make video games.
They made video games and like the characters kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And the video games weren't that exciting that they were making, and they were just unreally making them. Like all of a sudden, like after a night, they have this full game, and it's just all like
that's not real.
It's not
it's
real. It's not even close. Like I could have accepted it if like all of a sudden they have this magic power that like
lets them make
it faster.
They're just super geniuses.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Life is Daijoubu, episode 71. My name is Cole, and I am joined by a man who only knows one language. Try as he might, he can only just muster up one language. Mr. Thane.
And that's Chinese.
I don't know why. I always try to come up with stupid, dumb things. We were talking about how Thane doesn't know what people say at work because they're speaking different languages. So
Speaking Spanish.
That's a different language.
I was correct.
Okay.
And
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
And on the far end of the table, we've got a man who his coat's really wearing him. I'll just say that. It's I don't think he's wearing it. Coat's wearing him.
That's how you stay warm. You find something that wears you.
Yeah, honestly, that's a pretty solid
like a sleeping
reason.
bag. A sleeping bag eats you.
Yeah,
and stay warm.
You become the burrito. You're the filling of the burrito.
Yep, you're the beans, rice, and meat.
And cheese, too, or sour cream, if you feel.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling snazzy
Cheesy
at Taco
roll-up.
Bell, some Taco Bell French fries.
Yeah, if you crawl to the bottom of your sleeping bag, then you really are a Taco Bell burrito.
Blandest items, cheesy roll up. All it is just cheese inside a burrito.
Yeah, the cheesy roll-up's kind of one of the worst things there.
Remember
R.I.P.
Zay? Zay used to get those.
I know, I always made fun of him. Guys, this is an anime podcast. We got anime to talk about. Like I said, episode 71. Today we're going to be talking about the anime Mashle, Might and Muscle. What is it?
Magic and Muscles.
Magic and Muscles. Season 1, we're going to be going into the spoilers for just season 1, the first, I think it's 12 or 13 episodes of the show. That won't be until roughly around the halfway point, but for now, we've got a small smidgen little bit of news, and then we'll talk about some of our seasonal shows that we're watching.
And at the end, I'm going to spread my butthole.
That's what that's code for, like, when he's making cookies and he uses a rolling pin. He likes to call the flat cookie dough his butthole.
I don't know how we're humoring this dude, but we're humoring him, I guess. Anyway, we got news. 2 things of news. First thing is the Ramparts of Ice is getting an anime.
Manga.
I don't know what the hell that is.
It's a manga. Scholar's right.
Bang.
Good job, Sky.
Thanks.
I don't know anything about it. I imagine there's ice based on the title. And then the only other thing that I have on my list is that Oshinoko Season 3 is confirmed for 2026.
Cool.
R.I.P. to all you non-manga readers. Having to wait.
Couldn't be me.
It
What about you, Thane? Could it be you?
couldn't be me.
Let's go. You read it. Yeah, I don't have anything else for news if I'm being completely honest. It seems to be we're in a dry spell of nothing exciting really getting announced right now. I mean, outside of the anime central, we had the Switch announcement, which was interesting. And that has
like a Switch.
Some implications for anime in some way, shape, or form somewhere down the line.
An anime-like game is coming out in March. Well, re-release. Xenoblade.
Oh, Xenoblade X.
Yeah, Xenoblade X.
Yeah.
It's got mechs.
It's got mechs in it.
It's got a 13-year-old girl.
She tries to cook a guy. It's not really a guy. I mean, it's technically a guy, but like not a human guy. Tries to cook him up.
And like
Eats
a
him.
witch's pot.
No, just on the kitchen table in a pot.
Oh.
Not a witch's pot.
Wow.
Well, I can't wait till I get to that.
Can't wait till we get to there.
That cook scene.
Yeah, there's not a lot to be talking about. So let's talk about our seasonal anime. We are roughly, honestly, just a month. We're a month in. We're a month into the season. That means we're about 4-ish episodes into most of your shows, if not all of them. And how you guys feeling about the season so far? Yeah, you thinking it's a good one? It's a bad one? What do you think?
I think there's a select few of good shows, and it's
kinda
very
dry.
scarce. Yeah, it's very dry.
Yeah.
Like imagine we're sinking. No, we're floating on the ocean. All we have is just like a couple planks of wood keeping us afloat.
And those planks of wood are...
Apothecary Diaries.
There you go. We'll talk about it.
Season 2.
Let's talk about that one.
It's more Apothecary Diaries. More.
It's more
medical.
Momo being.
It's like House in ancient China.
Yeah. Apothecary Diaries Season 2 is a lot of fun still. I am an episode behind. I'm going to watch it probably immediately after this. I just don't have any snacks. Oh, I've got popcorn. I have snacks. Let's go. I've been too busy watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS all weekend, so that's why I haven't really been watching any anime. But
What does YCS stand for?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series. It's that's just the acronym, but it's they probably do like 5 or 6 throughout the country a
So
year.
they call it.
So it's a big
So
one.
the title is Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS. So
No, they don't say Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS.
Oh,
it's just YCS.
I think he just said Yu-Go to clarify for
yeah.
us and
Yeah.
the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me another DC comic situation because DC stands for Detective Comics, and there's not much detectiving going on.
You're kidding. It does not stand for detective. That's
It
a
does.
thing.
Who was the first
It does.
detective then?
Batman?
It was Batman.
I guess he's
Was he the
he's kind
first
of a
DC
detective.
comic book hero? I thought it was Superman.
No, Superman was in Action Comics, and then they kind of blended him and called it DC. And then they had like suspense comics, mystery comics. They just had like a word and then like put comics after it, and then they kind of blended it all together, called it DC. Detective Comics.
Interesting.
Comics.
Well, the more you know, I guess.
Yeah.
Diverting back from our tangent, yeah, Apothecary Diaries. It's goated. It's still just as good as it was last time we got to watch a season. Is this a 2-core this time? Do we get to watch another
Yes.
24 episodes?
Yes.
Thank goodness, dude. Thank goodness. I need more of this show. I want as much as I can get. So that makes me happy. If you're not watching Apothecary Diaries, I'd do the 3-episode trick. If you don't like it after episode 3, then you can drop it. But I'd be surprised if you didn't like it after episode 3.
It's pretty
So
good.
what's another plank for you, Sky? What's keeping you afloat?
Sakamoto days, dude. I have been seeing this manga on Shonen Jump app for like 3 years or something, 2 or 3 years, and it just has never looked appealing to me at all. It's like, well, there's just this fat white-haired old dude on the front, and I've never thought to click on it, even read anything about it. After episode 1, I was like, wow, I'm so sad that I did not start reading this forever ago. It's so much fun.
So I kind of had a bit of a different experience with that show / series. Probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I clicked on it on the manga app, and I read like the first 3 or 4 chapters, and I got to the end of the 4th chapter, and I thought, yeah, this is pretty freaking good. I'm going to wait till there's a bunch of this to read. And there's probably 20 chapters out at the time, maybe 30 or something like that.
See, yeah.
And now it's over 100. And I was going to start, well, I remember I was like thinking, okay, maybe I could start reading that now. And then they announced the anime, so I said, well, I'm not doing it yet. But yes, it is indeed a lot of fun. I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah, it's so good.
As a non-Netflix subscriber, I'm curious about your methods and how you are viewing this. Not trying to call you out. I just know you don't subscribe to Netflix, and it's interesting. It's a situation's interesting because I'm watching it dubbed on Netflix as it comes out, but it's a week behind. So I'm missing an episode. Are you not watching it dubbed?
No. Oh, yes. Yes, I am.
You are.
Mhm.
So you must be a week behind as well then.
Well, I'm a week behind because I haven't watched it, but I'm not a week behind. It's just because I haven't watched it.
Okay. And so here's the other interesting thing is because before I subscribed to Netflix, I also went to some interesting practices to view this show. And they had both episodes 1 and 2 dubbed.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went to Netflix to watch episode 3, they didn't have episode 3 dubbed. It was just subbed. But 2 came out as dubbed. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know. I just thought that was really, really interesting that they don't have it the same day dubbed, where on these shady websites they have it the same day, especially because it's exclusively on Netflix. I have no idea. It must be like coming out in a different country earlier dubbed.
Probably
is my only guess.
Yeah, well, the more I've looked into like licensing and stuff, because I've always been like, how come, you always see it on the VPN stuff where it's like, oh, in this country they have Netflix, same freaking thing,
Yeah,
but it has all these different shows and whatnot, and I think it's just because of licensing. I'm assuming anyway.
Yes, it is. It depends on the distributor, whoever owns the rights right now. It's kind of case by case in different countries.
It's all kind of a nightmare.
Definitely.
Even in Canada, you probably get different shows that are on Netflix compared to what's not on Netflix.
that is very true. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but like, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Even Netflix originals, sometimes they'll if they have branded Netflix originals, sometimes those aren't even safe if they weren't produced by Netflix directly. Like some anime are completely gone from there. And some foreign produced shows that maybe were produced by the BBC or something, some of them are gone. And sometimes Netflix will just take them down because they're not doing well.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. I guess their bandwidth / storage is that important.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, so the other interesting thing about Sakamoto Days that I wanted to talk about, and I don't know because I've not gotten to this episode yet, but from what I understand, the most recent episode had some bad animation issues.
I haven't watched.
I haven't watched it either.
I'm kind of behind.
I've just seen a bunch of people on Reddit complaining. The place to complain.
Yeah.
And all these people are showing a screenshot of the manga compared to the screenshot of the anime scene, and the manga is obviously more detailed, which is a given. That's gonna happen. The manga is always gonna be more detailed because it's much more easier to detail a single page than it is to detail an entire scene. So I don't know if it's just that or if it actually is bad and people are complaining. So who knows? I've yet to see it. I guess we will keep you updated on my thoughts and I guess your guys' thoughts if you see it later on in the next episode, because I still gotta watch them. And I'll tell you a little bit about one of the boards that I'm keeping afloat on. It's a show called Zenshu. Now, do either of you two know anything about this show?
I watched the second episode just a few minutes ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So, I'll give you the premise of Zenshu. And before I really talk about it, I just want to say it's not an incredible must-watch show. It's a fun show and it's good. It's above mid, I think. It's probably an 8. I wouldn't say you need to watch this show, or if you're not watching this show this season, you're missing out. But anyway, here's what Zenshu's about, and it's anime by Mappa. Mappa is animating this one. It's about an animator who, while working really hard, ate some bad food and maybe quote unquote died. Don't know. And then they got isekai'd into an anime movie they watched. That's their favorite anime movie they've ever watched, and they kept watching it over and over again, so they know everything about it. First off, very, very funny and ironic that they make it about an animator who was working really hard.
Because it's Mappa.
Because it's Mappa, so it's just all it's an interesting ground you decided to tread there.
I really hope that the animator that was animating the animator working really hard wasn't working really hard.
Oh my gosh, dude, I know. And that wasn't the premise as to why they weren't being overworked. They were a really, really well-known animator, top of the line, top tier, and they were going to make a movie, and it was going to be a romance movie. They don't have any romance experience, and that's why they started going crazy about their workload and everything. So it's not necessarily because the company, but still, it's a thin line they were treading. Anyway, let's actually talk about the show. So yeah, they get isekai, and it's really interesting. Her power is literally to just bust out an animation board, desk, and everything, and just start drawing something to fight whatever they're fighting. It's very reminiscent of 90s anime, especially with a transformation scene straight out of Sailor Moon. It's honestly pretty impressive overall. The animation's really freaking good. It has a lot of callbacks to old animation styles and things like that. And yeah, I don't know. Like another really interesting thing that pops out to me is the music in this one. For some weird reason, like the soundtrack is really powerful in this show. Even if the story's just like okay. Everything else is like way higher than it probably should be though. I'm hoping that the story gets a lot better and that I'm going to like the characters a lot more. But basically, I'm watching a character that I kind of care about, hang out with a bunch of characters I don't have any like care about, and I have to care about them because the main character likes them. I mean, as it keeps going, I'm getting to like them better, but
Right.
you get the idea. It's interesting. I can totally see the idea from it. It's a good idea. It's cool. It's unique anyway, in a way. I mean, it's an isekai, but it's still kind of unique.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a fun one. I think like halfway through the season, I'll be able to fully put my stamp of recommendation on it. As of right now, if you just want good animation with some nice nostalgia tied into it and a good soundtrack, it's not a bad pick though. Yeah, it's good. It's not bad. There's lots of shows, but we can't talk about all of them because we'll need to talk about stuff through the next couple of weeks. So
What
do you got?
I'll just save it because I mean I've got 2 more that I do want to mention, but I'll just save those for next time.
Yeah. I'll say though, like I don't really have very many dumpies. I have dropped one so far, and I went to watch one of the other ones that way. Like when we went through the list, I said I might give this one a shot. I went to go watch one of those, and it was not on Crunchyroll, and it wasn't on High Dive, and I didn't know where it was, and so I was like, well, guess I'll find this later, maybe.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. indeed. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. Then let's move on into our discussion on Mashle, Magic and Muscle. I always mix up the
One
the
time I
bottom
called
title.
it Might and Magic, but that's
Maybe
actual
that's
game
why.
series.
Maybe it's because that game series I keep missing up the name, or I've heard you say, but I don't know. Anyway, Mashle, Magic and Muscle. We're going in spoiler mode. 12 episodes, whatever, 13 or whatever. It's just season 1. We're spoiling it, so if you haven't seen it, that's your warning. Let's hear about it, Sky.
So Mashle it takes place in a world where magic is everything. Magic trumps all. It's kind of like My Hero where everybody has quirks, except everybody uses magic, except for the people that don't use magic because they can't. And those people are literally considered scum, and they are actually killed. If you do not use magic, then like how his dad even finds him is his dad finds baby Mash. Just like, was he in a bush or on the streets or something?
Yeah.
In the streets.
Abandoned. He's abandoned because he doesn't have a mark. Everybody's got a mark on their face saying that they can use magic. Well, his dad found baby Mash, can't use magic. Obviously, his parents abandoned him, so he takes him and raises him. Anyway, at episode 1, they find out some of the what are they, guards or policemen?
Yeah.
Policemen, magic guys. They find out that because Mash goes into town, I think he's buying apples.
He wants a cream puff.
Oh, he's buying cream because he just usually makes them. I guess he is buying cream.
He was
puffs.
buying them
Yes,
then,
buying
yeah.
cream
So he's
puffs.
buying cream puffs in town because he loves cream puffs. That's all he eats. And the cops find him because his hood falls off. They're like, he doesn't have a mark on his face. Mash goes back to his house and then beats up. Well, I guess Mash can't use magic, but he's super buff. Like, he's super strong because that's all he does is exercise and work out and eat cream puffs. Anyway, the premise is Mash beats up the cops, and the cops are like, hey, we want you to go do this thing at the school. And, that's Mash goes to Hogwarts. That's where we're at.
It's like Harry Potter was hijacked by Hokuto no Ken. Or Fist of the North Star, sorry.
I find it so funny how much it's just Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like,
dude.
when I remember hearing about the show and people, like, equated it to Harry Potter, I'm like, of course, yeah, they go to magic school. It's similar to Harry Potter. No. It's literally just like, we're going to take Harry Potter and just make anime out of it.
Yeah, and make it a comedy.
Like, to the point where it's like, they play the same sport. The ending of season 1 is very much so just the ending of Chamber of the Secrets, where they go through the different trials.
Yay.
And I'm just all like, what?
That's actually Sorcerer's Stone.
What did I say?
Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Sorcerer's Stone. My bad. Yeah, and I'm just all like, okay, we're just literally ripping it off.
Well, they even ripped off scenes one for one, like the broom scene where they're like up, 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 and then Mash just slams the ground.
Yep.
Sorry, thing, just smashed your foot.
No, it's fine.
Mash slams the ground, and the broom comes up to him. Anyway, yeah, it's as I was watching, I'm like, oh, that's like Harry Potter. Oh, that's like Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Pretty funny. I saw the irony in it. I thought it was funny.
I think so too. But I was just so like I wouldn't say we were put off. I was like taken aback by how much it was just Harry Potter. Because
Right.
like I said, I'd heard that people had said that. I didn't realize to what extent it was Harry Potter. But yeah, it's literally Harry Potter. You got the Ron, Hermione, and everything going on too for a bit there.
It's almost lawsuit worthy, but I think they can legally defend it under parody.
I think so too. In fact, the only thing that I ever like thought it was gonna be like lawsuit worthy was Quidditch. But it wasn't to the fact they were playing a game on their broom where they throw a ball through hoops. It was even to the point where like they show the scoreboard thing and it's literally just the same scoreboard thing from the movie, from Harry Potter movie. I'm just like, really? And they have the first year do it because he was good at flying a broom and so on, you know? And I'm just all like, they have the freaking guy come pick him up after class to go like, oh, you're going to join the squad? And I'm like, bro, how much are we going to go? It really caught me off guard, but it's not bad. It's fun. Yeah. What else you got to talk about it?
So I would say that my two favorite things about this entire show, because I would say that this show, Mashle, Magic and Muscles, is above average, but it's not great. It's not like amazing. This is definitely a popcorn show. I would give it like a 7 or an 8, honestly. I think it's above half the dumpies that we watch that we think are fun, but it's also right there with them too. Because there's not much that goes on, but my two favorite parts about this whole thing was the music, and I loved the dry humor, dude. Like, the Mash's attitude killed me so much because he's just completely oblivious. All the dude cares about is eating cream puffs and trying to become the best wizard for his dad. That's it, dude. And then along the way, he's just like, I guess I'll save this person. I guess.
Yeah, I agree with the dry humor. It was a lot of fun. I can't, but it's what you said, a popcorn show, or just like you turn your brain off and enjoy kind of show.
Yeah.
Even to the point where it's like I can't remember a lot of the jokes from it because it was just I literally just turned my brain off and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a quick, easy watch though. It's easy to throw on an episode and then caught up. You're like, oh, I'm 3 or 4 episodes later, you know,
Right.
without even really realizing it because it is just like you turn your brain off. It's fun though. I found it very interesting how easy it was for them to put the mark on MASH.
He just drew it on his face.
Because why not just do that when he's a little baby
Yeah.
and just leave it on the entire time? Then it's never an issue, right? Like I feel like
Plot progression.
they solved a problem that could have been solved years ago, and then the problem wouldn't have existed.
And that's what I had thought that too. I'm like, oh, well, you drew on the mark on his face so he could go to school, but that's the whole reason he's even going to school is because
he didn't have a mark.
Yeah, he didn't have a mark.
Yeah.
The problem is solved.
At first, I also didn't realize that the mark was significant. It took me a little bit into episode 1 to realize that it was actually a significant thing because I placeboed myself into thinking he always had it because I only ever saw like the promotional like trailers or the pictures, and he always had a mark. And so in episode 1, he doesn't have it. It wasn't until people in the streets or whatever in the show started like reacting to the fact that he didn't have one that I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't have one. And I didn't realize that was the thing that gave people magic was the mark either until they made it a big deal. It's just like, oh, okay, now everything kind of falls into place. I think I did mention last time where I said I had started trying to read this manga at one point. I got like halfway through chapter 1 and was just all like, I'm dropping it. This manga or this series is infinitely easier to watch as an anime than as a manga, in my opinion. And it's to the point I almost wonder if like the creator like intended that for to be the case. He wanted to make something popular enough where it would be picked up as an anime so that it'll just keep growing because he knew it would be better as an anime. I don't know. I think that a lot, that some creators might just like think in the back of their head that like this will be better as an anime, so I gotta make it popular so we can get it. But
Right.
much easier to watch as an anime than read as a manga, no doubt. I don't know, like it was fun. It's got good humor. The characters are kind of fun. Like the guy that he dorms with, I don't know any of their names, I'm not gonna lie, but like he's kind of endearing. They have that nice little arc at the beginning where he was kind of like
Betraying him.
being mean to him, but
Burning
Mash,
his books.
but Mash is just all like, yeah, F that, I don't care.
Well, like right at that beginning too, it like because you're like, huh, Mash is kind of oblivious, but then in that where he's like pulls out his book, he's like, it's burnt, and then he pulls out another book, he's like, oh, that one's burned, and he's like, hey, dude, let me see your book, and the guy's like, no, then Mash never pressed for it. He's like, okay, whatever.
Like, okay, I guess I don't use your book. And then like the other, like the silver hair guy with the two lines.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name, but like his story's fun. Like each of them,
Lance, I believe is his name.
yeah, each of their own characters. The red hair guy, each of them all have their own like fun stories, and I feel bad for like the girl because like she really didn't have that story. It was just I'm poor.
And I'm in love with Mash.
And now I just want to just get with this bowl cut guy
because he saved me.
Yeah, and so I kind of wish that she had something more, but maybe you get it more later on.
Yeah, maybe you do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
Actually, I don't think you do.
Oh,
I read the manga. I read the whole manga.
You're caught
it's
up currently?
Short. No, it's short. It ended.
Oh,
a
it's
while
done?
Ago. Yeah, it's like 100 and something chapters.
Is it like a third season and it's done? Or
Yeah, I think a third season, and it's the third, 3 and 4, I think, and then it's done. But it's just 4 arcs, and yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a pretty quick read. It's just pretty much if it was like Ken from Fist of the North Star, but he was teleported to Harry Potter.
See, you know what? The two that came to my head, and it's just probably because that's all I've seen, is I just thought of Harry Potter. But if Saitama went to Harry Potter,
Yeah, I'm
'cause
thinking.
he's just so broken.
I'm thinking more Ken because he's more like Mash. He's more vulnerable. He actually takes damage, where Saitama's just like he brushes off any damage.
Yeah, Saitama doesn't even take damage. At least Mash gets hurt.
Right, but the thing is like Mash gets hurt, but then he doesn't. Like that one battle where he's fighting the swordsman that he's just summoning all these swords and they're slicing him to bits, and then he's just good. He's like, eh.
That is true.
All he gets is a cut on his cheek.
The wounds
No, he
in
gets
the
a
show,
stab through his stomach.
Right, but then
and then
he's
he
It doesn't
fine.
flexes his
matter.
abs
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
to break it.
the wounds in this show don't really seem like they are detrimental.
No.
Like they try to make it seem like, holy cow, that guy's gonna die because he got punched by that dude 10 times.
Yeah, the red hair
He just
guy.
gets up like it's nothing.
Right, but when Mash inflicts damage, there's a lot of visibility or a lot of visible effects, I guess. Because like that one guy, the same dude that hit Red Hair Boy 10 times, he punched him twice.
Yeah.
Or I think it was a punch and then a knee to the face or something.
Something like that,
That
yeah.
guy was down.
He was down. He was gone.
His face messed up. But it's interesting too. Like I have a hard time judging the power scale of, because they're like, wow, this guy's like one of the top mages. Mash beats him up real quick. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But then it's like Mash fights the top mage of the school, beats him up with very little damage. You know what I mean?
And maybe that's intentional.
You're right.
To imply that his muscles are much better than the magic system in this world.
Right.
Maybe the magic system just severely underpowered in this world and it's not that good.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe. But what I did like about the magic system, though, is like everybody has their own magic style. Where like you got the puppet user, you've got the guy that summons the earth. I like that it's not just casting spells.
That's actually one of my gripes.
really.
Yeah.
It's just that's kind of the shonen.
It's just a shonen at that
Yeah,
point. It's literally
shonen
just
archetype.
Naruto. What's your jutsu? What's your Jujutsu Kaisen at power?
What's your nen ability?
Your nen
See,
ability?
I'm totally down for that. Maybe it's just because I've seen a lot of fantasy shows where the magic
What's
is
your
just
Bankai?
casting spells.
And like, I get where you're coming from, but maybe it's because I have seen other shows like that where I'm thinking these people may be doing more than just their one thing. Like they're literally in class doing the Harry Potter thing where they're learning how to levitate things. Nobody ever does anything like that later on. It's like, what's the point of even learning that spell if you're only going to use your one nen ability, your one freaking jutsu or whatever it is? What's your Jujutsu Kaisen power called? What were the
Curse techniques.
your curse technique? Thank you. I don't know. And it's just all
Maybe you
like
should watch it.
I tried one time, I think. Yeah. Anyway, but like it's not bad. I do like that idea, and it's definitely just shonen-ifying
Right.
the story, which is what it's supposed to be. This was in Jump proper, right?
Yeah.
It
Weekly
published
Shonen
in
Jump.
Weekly Shonen Jump, so fits the market right perfectly. So I don't blame them. Now that we're on that though, what was the freaking girl's power? Does she even do anything?
She's just useless. She's
She's literally just useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just to be that was her purpose, was to be a distraction for Mash in the Maze, which
Yeah.
she successfully did,
'Cause
but
that-
she hasn't
'cause-
done anything since.
So like going even more so, she didn't get any backstory at all. She didn't even get a power. That's how bad she is. That's sad. I don't know, but okay. Leading into that previous conversation about they have their one single power that's like passed through their family. It would have been cool if Harry Potter did something like that, because families were a big thing in that story. I don't know why I'm judging that story now. That story's not that great. That's probably why I'm judging it, but there's one extra thing that could have made it even cooler, because families were supposed to be this thing, but like it didn't matter because everybody's just freaking like fucking ever,
Right.
you know, instead of like special power that only blonde kids can use.
And I think going back to MASH is, I don't think that's the intended purpose at all. I think this is just a very surface level comedy where it's like, everyone's got these really cool magic abilities, but MASH can punch, and he wins.
Absolutely, you're hit a spot on the nose right there. Like, it's definitely just supposed to be this very surface level thing. I look way too much into things. That's my problem. But if I just look at it on the surface level, like I was when I was watching it, I was just surface level watching it, basically.
Right.
It wasn't until after I finished season 1 that I started thinking about it after the fact. Did any of you guys try to watch more than season 1? Like, you dabble into season 2 a little bit?
I haven't, but I think I will.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it that much.
I
I already read the manga, so I
you're
know
just gonna
what's
drop it?
happening. Yeah.
I watched like the first 2 episodes of season 2, more so specifically just because I wanted to hear the song.
Bing, 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 bing,
It's a
bing,
banger,
bing,
dude.
bing, bing.
It's fine. I don't remember what was going on. It's been a while since I've actually watched that, but my biggest issue though, I want to talk my biggest issue with the series, and it was I got to like episode like 7, 8, or 9, right around like the 3/4 of the way through the show mark. I got to this point where I was like, man, I watched all these episodes really quickly, but not much happened. Not much. We didn't really do much. It's literally just the same thing, different day.
Yeah, every episode was Groundhog Day.
It's literally just like, what is Mash gonna punch today?
Yeah, what bad guy? Oh, he beat him up. Who's
Maybe
the
that's
next bad guy.
And maybe that's the one bad
There's-
side of doing that as your thing, is you just punch something. But somehow One Punch Man does it. Like, it does it okay.
I wonder if it's because the villains become more grander, whereas this, it's like you're just beating up kids.
Yeah,
that do
actually,
magic.
there's a part later where it's literally just like when Orochimaru crashes the Chunin exams. Like, this is just the Orochimaru thing all over again.
And then he kills the 7th Hokage.
Yeah, something like that.
So, dang, that's interesting. Is there any fights thing you can spoil this for me? Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't. It was just gonna be a subtle, simple spoiler. I'll ask the question, and if you guys feel like you need to tune out, just hit the little toot 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 3 times on your phone and you're forward. Does Mash ever get to a point where he has a hard fight, or is it always just like easy for him?
Towards the end, it's like the final boss. It's
Okay,
like, it's the final
so
boss.
that's kind of a given. It's kind of got to be like that.
There's one thing that he does at the end. It's like, all right, that's pretty ridiculous. That
Okay.
is like extremely ridiculous.
See, and I think that's where the show gets a pass because it is a comedy. It doesn't take itself
Yeah.
seriously at all.
I knew it was going to be ridiculous when he was keeping himself in the air by moving his, like, treading water,
Yeah.
but he's treading air. Yeah, but yeah, that was my probably biggest complaint, was just how it got stale pretty quickly, and I think it's because I watched it as fast as I did. I think if I was slowly watched it, I think the staleness wouldn't have ever happened. But I don't know. That's just me. I do want to do a little bit more comparison to One Punch Man, because I feel like that's the obvious comparison. I feel most, like, even like art style wise, it's pretty
Right.
similar.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Murata's art's kind of goated, but he does the derpy mode every now and then that looks just like Mashle.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, looping back to that. So Saitama, he just kills everything in one punch, and I've like decided that he's not even the main character of One Punch Man. I think he is for like the first 2 or 3 arcs, but after that, I think he just kind of like sits back and watches everything while everyone else becomes the main character, or the like the major focus of the characters, like Genos or whoever it might be. It becomes a more focus of a character, and this is like more so even farther into the manga, because in season 1 it really is just Saitama's show. I don't know if you watched season 2 yet or not, Sky, but after like season 2 onwards and into the manga, he definitely does kind of like take a step back and lets the other characters take the lead. And I think it's because the writer, one, realized that if I just have Saitama punch stuff every single time, nothing changes. He's just gonna win. That's literally why I made him that way. So I think he probably realized there was nothing for him to really like gain from that. And I feel like that's the issue Mashle's gonna have, is because they kind of made Mashle Saitama.
Yeah, well, and I wonder, like, because Thane said it is shorter, I wonder if that's to its benefit.
He's not Saitama. He actually has limitations.
Sure, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's similar. It's very, very similar. And maybe that's why I want all the other characters to have a little bit more of a interesting role or story, where instead of the common shonen trope where we learn their backstory and then we just pass them off and go to the next person. Because even like the Sasuke-esque guy, like I don't know how often he's gonna show up. He's the silver hair guy, I'm assuming.
Right.
Oh, he's a prominent character.
He's pretty prominent.
All those characters are prominent, except maybe for Lemon. I don't know what happens to her.
The girl.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. She doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, why introduce a quote-unquote main character to the friend group and not let him do anything?
Well, the love interest, even at that.
Yeah, it's the Sakura. Oh, it's meta. They're playing on Sakura. I gotcha.
See, and I kind of got that vibe too. Like there was one episode where they were all saying, like, stating what they actually were, and Lemon even said, "Yeah, I'm the heroine of the show," and it was just those three, just Ron, Hermione, and Harry talking. But they broke the fourth and stated what they were. So I don't know if you guys remember that scene.
Vaguely. Yeah. I don't know. Did you guys have any other gripes with the show? It's hard to find gripes in a show that really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I didn't
anyway.
really have any gripes, honestly. I mean, it's just like you already mentioned, all the episodes were the same thing.
The reason why I actually dropped it, I was willing to go full send with the show, is just that the animation is just so average. It doesn't pop.
It doesn't jump out very often.
Yeah, like I thought, it's A1 Pictures. They do bangers. Just didn't even bother. Like they were like, yeah, it's just a C level show we're drawing. It's like, damn.
And I guess they didn't have to either, though, because it is that surface level humor thing.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't really demand high quality animation.
Even at the surface level, they could have had really high quality Sasugas during the fights.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying no.
Is that the right word? Sakuga?
Yeah.
Good
job.
It's like sausage.
This whole show is basically just about mash punching things, because there's not really any development of the world. The magic's still very surface level. Why are these kids that are a part of this exclusive group able to just run some underground? We have kidnapped kids and are literally sucking the magic out of them.
And turning them into puppets.
Yeah, and then conveniently the headmaster's just gone, and they throw that in literally one sentence, because it's like, oh, well, the headmaster's gone, so I guess, but
It's
whatever, you know
literally
what I mean? They just skip over it all.
It's literally a thing from Harry Potter where it's like, book one, it's like, oh, the headmaster's gone. Let's go.
That's literally, that's one of the things. Dumbledore's away or whatever, so that's why they do the thing.
Yeah, this is. I think the show suffers heavily if you do look past the surface, trying to find, I don't know, any sort of world building. Other than like the best world building they got is like, yeah, people can use magic, these guys can't, and they are considered scum.
Sometimes they get more lines so they could do more magic or whatever.
Right.
And like, okay, I want to talk about that too, because that kind of bothered me and set me off. What's the point of the extra lines, right? Like, sure, you do more magic, but if your only magic is just going to be your family magic anyway, you're not really doing more magic now, are you? You're just doing the same thing you've always done, or your family's always done.
Guess you have better capacity.
I
don't know.
guess.
More powerful.
Maybe it's your mana. You got more
there you
mana.
go.
But hey, if you got a Toyota what's it called? The sprinter, the
AE86.
yeah,
the
86. If you
Terreno.
got a Terreno, then you can outperform a Lamborghini or whatever.
Going downhill.
Yeah, going downhill.
Not going uphill though. You'll
Yeah.
lose that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the music. I thought the music was really cool.
I don't remember any of the soundtrack.
It was mostly whenever fight scenes would kick in, it'd be cool.
Do a hip hop song or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I vaguely remember it now.
It was kind of
I think
a diverse
I don't know if
soundtrack.
that's the same composer as My Hero.
Yeah. Where they was you hear a little drum, my hero, kind of
Yeah.
kick in. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Might be the same composer.
It could be. Yeah, I could see it. Overall, it was fine. It was a good entertainment thing.
Yeah.
I think I will also watch season 2, but I'm probably gonna wait a bit before I just want some more stupid entertainment.
Right.
On another note, I did finish Delicious in Dungeon. That was fun.
Cool. Ready for season 2.
I just realized because I was kind of talking about because I basically did the same thing with Delicious in Dungeon where I like waited for that one, and then when I came back to it, it was fun. So I'll probably do the same thing with Mashle, where now that I binged season 1, I can come back to season 2 a little bit later and have a good time with that, and then hopefully it would probably be around when a season 3 would come out, and that would be weekly, so I don't have to like worry about binging it and getting burnt out or bored of it or whatever. So yeah, not bad. I think I gave it a 7.
I think I gave it.
Yeah, it's a 7.
A 7.
It's a
But I would say in my head anyway, it's above the average 7s.
Yeah, it's an upper 7.
It's an upper
probably,
7. Yeah.
Man, it's almost like we need to have like internal rankings within the 7s, but only that number because every show is a 7.
Yeah.
Not every show's a 6 or an 8, but every show's a 7. That's for sure. Well, final thoughts. It was good. It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I give it 2 punches out of 4 spells
And a cream puff.
and a cream puff.
Good stuff.
If you want to watch the adult version, you can watch Fist of the North Star, where the punches
Or the punches
you don't come back from those. Let me tell you that.
But that's
much.
not even like a comedy at all, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh,
well,
okay.
it's trying to be serious, but it gets goofy at times. You're like, it's like cheesy,
I see.
very cheesy. It's like, okay, this is like they kind of meant for that be that way. It's like over the top, like very like guys dressed up like in weird outfits, and then he goes and then
Oh my Shinderu?
yeah, oh my Shinderu.
Okay, cool. All right. It's time. Ready to hear my show that I picked?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's the exact show that you might have expected after I said it the other day. We're going to be watching Too Many Losing Heroines. But like the main title is called Makeine, Makeine. Makeine?
Makeine.
Makeine? I don't know. I just said Too Many Losing Heroines because that's easier to say. That's what we're going to be watching over the next 2 weeks. There is 12 episodes, and I'm going to be watching on Crunchyroll, so that's where it is. I can find it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We'll see you all next time. Tell us your thoughts about Mashle in the comments. And, yeah, have a great life, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.